Hello there everyone, Jedi Brick here. Today I'm going to be doing a full review of the LEGO Star Wars 2023 Advent Calendar. This is set 75366 LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar, and it has 320 pieces. So of course I'm going to show you the box first, and then we'll go day by day of what you get for each day. So there are going to be spoilers in this for the last 2 days, because I'm recording this on the 22nd of December. So there are going to be spoilers for the last two builds. But yeah, let's start off with the box. So for the box, it has the very standard advent calendar box art style. You have this really nice gold ribbon printed on there to make it look like a gift, and you have some of the black uh, greebling and stuff you would see on almost every other LEGO Star Wars set, with the 332nd Battle Pack here for comparison. You just have that black brick greebling on the side there. You also get a nice view of some of the figures and builds you get in the set. For example, the 332nd, not 332nd, the 212th Clone Trooper, the Speeder Bike, the Christmas Ewok, Leia and Palpatine, Omega, the Gonk Droid, Mando's N1 Starfighter, and some other nice builds. This takes place on Endor for the anniversary of Return of the Jedi. So, really nice how they made that into a Christmas theme. You can see the snow and some lights on that tree. Really like that. I don't think it actually snows on Endor, but it looks nice either way. Turning this over on the back, you can see some more of the builds that are in the set with the Battle Droid, the CAD Bane's Justifier, the Pit Droid, the AAT, and some really nice other builds. You can see more of that Endor Christmas design with some more lights on the trees over there, and some lights going around on the bottom, and just really nice Christmas theming. You have some candy canes and stuff there. On the side of the box for some side art, let me zoom out for you. You get the LEGO Star Wars stuff when the ribbon continues all the way around, and nothing interesting on this side except for the LEGO Star Wars logo and the Disney one, the set number. So that's enough talking about this box. Let's get into day one. So starting off day one, we have Omega and a sled. I think this is one of the better characters that they give you in this advent calendar, because this figure was exclusive to the CAD Bane's Justifier before this advent calendar came out, and it is the exact same version from that set with that really nice arm printing on either side, and you get a really nice head print for Omega with a happy smirk on one side and a more angry look on the other. Really nice detailing on the torso as well, no printing on the short black legs, but you do get really nice back printing with that belt going all the way around. And for a side build, you get a little sled. Not a whole lot to say about this, but it is very cool how they included two things in day one. A really nice simple black sled, which of course you can fit Omega in. Just move her arms up a little bit, and as you can see, she fits right in there with those studs right there. So you do have a little slope piece right there on the back, and these really nice slopes at the front as well to kind of make it look more like a sled. I can't talk today. Um, so I really like this. Of course, the Omega minifigure was a big draw for this advent calendar, with her being exclusive to the Justifier before this. So it's really nice to get her in a more affordable set, and this completes all my Bad Batch minifigures. I really like this minifigure, but let's move on to the next day. So for day two, we have CAD Bane's Justifier. So this goes perfectly with the Omega that we just took a look at, and this is a very nice build for CAD Bane's Justifier. It uses very few pieces, and it just executes it very well. You have that feature on the back where you can move the fin or the engine up and down. I'm not really sure what the official name for that is, but it's really cool how they are able to let you do that. Taking a look at the underside there, you can see a bit more of its construction. Yeah, not a whole lot of pieces went into any of these builds, and I think they are all executed very well. This being one of my favorites for the advent calendar. You have that window there at the front where Cad Bane would sit, hypothetically, if he could fit in there. But this is a really solid mini build. Not a huge fan of the tan plate right there. I'm not sure how accurate that is to the actual ship, but I think it looks nice. That would have been nicer in a gray or a black, though. But it is what it is. This looks super nice, but let's move on to day three. And here for day 3, we have the Mandalorian's N1 Starfighter. This is probably my favorite build out of everything in this advent calendar. I think they just executed this ship so well. It looks very much like it does in the show. You can see it does have the two cockpits, one for the Mandalorian and one for Grogu. You also have the blue studs on either side of the wings to represent the thrust or the engines, and you have those two spikes on either side as well for the wings. This just looks so nice. Like I said, my favorite build for this advent calendar. Just very simple, but it's very recognizable. You can tell what it is. It has that nice yellow on the backside as well, so you can get a glimpse of the paint job before Mandalorian got his hands on it. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else to say about this, but it looks so nice. It's very slim as well. I think that's very important for a build like this. It's not a very bulky ship. It's very small. It's very sleek. So I think they executed that very well, and they used a lot of great pieces to make this work. So, with all that said, let's move on to number 4. For day 4, we have the Santa Christmas Pit Droid. So, this I'm gonna count as a minifigure because it is kind of to scale with the other minifigures. Um, it's a very simple build, not my favorite thing from this advent calendar. It uses a very similar build to one of the previous pit droids we saw, um, but I think it works. I'm not a huge fan of pit droids, anyways. I'm not really sure who is, but it is a very nice looking one that you can tell what it is, and they Christmasified it, I guess. Um, I'm not really sure what else to say about this one. It would have been nicer to get something else, like another minifigure or something like that, but it does look very nice. Yeah, not a whole lot to say about this. It does come with this cool little bag because it is supposed to represent Santa. So that's a really nice inclusion. But let's move on to day 5. For day 5 here we have the Clone Turbo Tank. This is probably my least favorite of the micro builds in this set, um, just because of how blocky and weird it looks. I mean, the wheels don't even really touch the ground. Um, it's just all gray. It's not the most interesting thing in the world either. It's the same on both sides. I'll show you that right there. Yeah, there's not a lot happening with this one. Um, I didn't really know what it was supposed to be at first. It took me a second to figure out what it was I was building exactly. Um, it's just also not my favorite vehicle in Star Wars, anyways. Um, so this really wasn't going to hit home with me either way. So, not a whole lot to say about this one. So, let's move on to day 6. For day 6, we have one of my favorites out of this advent calendar, the 212th Clone Trooper. So, there's absolutely nothing special about this Clone Trooper. This is the exact same version we got from the ATTE back from last summer, except the gun. The gun is different, I believe. I don't think they had this kind in that set. That's just a long range rifle with one of these candlestick pieces on the end. But this is the exact same version that we got in that set, and I'm really happy about it. It's great to have another clone trooper for my army, so I'm not really going to complain about it. It is the same version with the helmet holes or the helmet warts, as some people refer to them. Um, but it also does have that, I don't want to call it a misprint, but the inaccuracy with the helmet where the whole yellow or the orange print is downshifted. Say what you want about the helmet holes. I think they're fine, but I do not like how that is like that. It is just incorrect, and they advertised it as if they had it the right way in some of the sets, but they don't do that in this set. You can see right there on the box, it is the same version. That is something I wish they would fix, but I know they're not going to. Definitely not at this point. But taking the helmet off, you can see it is just the regular Clone Trooper head that we've been getting for some time now. So, nothing unique about this minifigure. They don't give him any accessories either for the helmet, so no rangefinders or visors. Unfortunately, that would have been a nice inclusion to go with this, but they didn't include any of that in this. So, yeah, this is a very nice Clone Trooper. I know a lot of people don't like these ones or they complain about them, but I love them. I'm happy to have more in my collection. So let's move on to day 7. Day 7, we have another one of my favorite builds. This is the Clone Command Station. So this looks very similar to the Clone Command Station we got in that summer set last year, I believe, the one with the Phase 1 Clone Troopers. So it looks very much like that set, but scaled down significantly, and I think they did a great job. You can absolutely tell what this is, and I think it would work really well for some mocks and little small dioramas for people. You can even put the Clone Trooper in there, of course. He can fit in just like that. I'm not sure if he can fit on the lower stud. He can, so he can fit on either studs if you want to be lower or higher. You also do get this little antenna build on the back. You can move that around if you want. It's on that ball joint, so it can swivel, go up and down, whatever way you want it to go. It also does have these two flaps on either side. If you want to kind of close up the command station, you can do that as well. And here's a look at the underside. Not a whole lot of complicated building techniques or anything on this. Very straightforward. And I think it gets the job done. You can clearly tell what it is if you're a Star Wars fan. And I just really like it for that. So let's move on to day 8. So for day 8, we have the B1 Battle Droid. Not a whole lot to say about this one. It is just a battle droid. The same ones they've been making since 1999, except with the straighter hand now. It does have the medium-sized blaster. Doesn't come with any other accessories. Yeah, just a very straightforward battle droid. Nothing else to say about it. Let's move on. For day 9, we have the Stap Speeder. So, without looking at the newer battle pack that has been revealed, I would say this is one of the best Staps Lego has ever made. It is great, it is very slim, it is agile looking. It's just everything a Stap Speeder should be. Um, it does come with a little gray 3x3 of grass to make it look like it's hovering, and it does come with one of those clear cylinder pieces. So I'm really glad they included those, so you have that immersion of it floating off the ground. And of course, you can fit the battle droid on there with that clip right there. And I think that looks really nice. Maybe bring him down just a little bit. Kind of got to angle it a certain way, but if you spend enough time with it, it'll look great. I really like the way this looks. I think the new one in the battle pack does look better, but for an advent calendar build, this is great for a step. Um, and yeah, let's move on to day 10. For day 10 here, we have the Hailfire class droid tank. This is another one of my least favorite ones from the advent calendar. Just not a huge fan of these droids or anything to begin with. They were briefly seen in Attack of the Clones, and I don't think they were ever seen from again. We did get a set off one back in the day, but there's not a whole lot to say about this one. It is a great build. You can see on the other underside how they put that together. Really nice use of these kind of hollowed out pieces right there, but not a whole lot to say about this one. I'm not really crazy about it. It is a good looking build. You can kind of tell what it is, but I just don't really care for the um, vehicle or the droid itself in universe. So, not a whole lot to say about this one. Let's move on to day 11. For day 11, we have the Armored Assault Tank, or the AAT. This is based off the one that we got back in 2021 with the original 332nd Clone Trooper and the Ahsoka. It's in that dark blue Clone Wars style color, and I think this turned out really, really nice. You can obviously tell what it is. It's a very iconic looking prequel vehicle. You can see it there from the side. You're able to rotate the top turret a little bit. You can go all the way around because it is just on one stud. Not exactly the strongest thing in the world, as you can see, but it does look really nice. You can't move this up or anything because it is all stuck like that. You can move these side turrets up if you wanted to, and it's all kind of built on that one black brick right there. So this is a very solid looking build. You can tell what it is. This is probably another one of my favorites in this year's advent calendar. But let's move on to day 12. For day 12, we have the Reindeer Gonk Droid. This one was also advertised on the box, and another one of my least favorites. I'm just not a huge fan of these. I do like the Gonk Droids, but I don't really care for the more Christmassy ones or anything. I think this looks particularly ugly, especially with the antlers and just that the white there on the top. I don't think that really fits. Um, but yeah, this one's really not my favorite. It isn't the best thing to look at, like aesthetically pleasing or anything. So it does have that. But it also has this hinge piece on the back if you wanted to uh, find a way to connect it to Omega Sleigh. They don't really show a way to do that in the set or on the box, but I'm sure you could find a way to do it. But yeah, not a lot to say about this one either. Um, but the next one is very nice. So let's move on to day 13. For day 13, we have the Imperial Shuttle. This is another one of my favorites in this set. You can tell what it is. It does use quite a few pieces, a lot more than I was expecting. But I think it is really necessary for a build like this, especially that top fin. You can see that gigantic slope right there. And I think they pulled this one off very, very well. You can see how the wings can fold up just like that. Very accurate to what we see in the films. You do have the cockpit area in the front. Turning that around, you do have the small engine, and underneath you do have two turrets as well. Like I said, this is another one of my favorites, and I think they pulled this one off very, very well. It's such an iconic looking ship to begin with, mostly because of the way it's shaped and the way it flies and everything. So I think they did a great job with this one as well. But we have something even better coming up on day 14. At day 14, we have the Endor Princess Leia. So this is the same version that came out earlier this year in the Endor speeder bike chase set. That one also did come with that Luke Skywalker, and I'm a big fan of this minifigure. I think she could have gone with some dual molding on the legs though, but they didn't put that in the original set, so I wouldn't expect them to do that for this one. But the printing on the torso and the legs does look very nice. You have the uh, tunic robe thing that she wears, the camouflage, and I think they pulled that off really well. The belt printing doesn't go all the way to the back. I'm not sure if that's inaccurate or not to how it looks in the movie, but it does look nice either way. You can see she does have an alternate face, a more angry look, and a more happy look. That's not a new print. They've been using that for Leia for a while now. But for an accessory, she has a small blaster and a cookie. So, really nice minifigure. Like I said, it's not unique or exclusive to this advent calendar, but it does look pretty darn good. Here we have another micro build. This is probably one of the worst ones in the set, if not the worst. This is the Endor Village. This is inspired or based off the 2013 UCS Ewok Village set, and this just looks very, very ugly in my opinion. Um, I wish they would have gone with something completely different for this. It's just not nice to look at, I guess. Um, see the trees on those sides there. I'm not really sure what to say about this. Trying to think of something positive to say about this. Um, yeah, I don't. Nothing's coming to mind when I look at this. I really don't like this set or this build. So I'm just gonna move on to the next one. For day 16, they gave us another great micro build. This is the Endor Bunker. I think they executed this one very well. For the pieces that they used, they maybe only used less less than 10 pieces. Um, I'll take that off there so you can, or I'll just drop it, so you guys can see that better. It is a great little build. It's on that 1x3 plate there. Taking it from the back, though, there's not a whole lot to look at it. It's very plain, very empty looking, but from the front is where all the detail is, and it looks great. I can see this being used for micro builds or something else like that. I just think it looks very nice. But let's move on to day 17. For day 17, we have the ATST, and I'm not too sure how I feel about this one yet. From certain angles, it does look good. I do like it from this side profile angle, but then from the front, I just don't think it looks very good at all. Um, Very small build as well. It comes with a 2x3 plate to make it look like it's on the ground. Um, but I don't really know how I feel about this one. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. You have those two turrets there at the front. The legs can move all the way up and down and everything like that. But this is kind of how I had it angled to make it look like it's walking. But I'm not I'm not too sure how I feel about this one. That's the thing with some of these builds in these advent calendars. Some of them, like the Stap and the N1 Starfighter, are great, and then you have ones like this with in the Ewok Village. But let's move on to another pretty good one. For day 18, we have the Endor Speeder Bike. This is a micro, um, semi-micro version of this, I guess. This one's pretty good. This isn't the best version of this I've ever seen, but it is pretty good. You do have those kind of fin things at the front. They didn't give you anything for them to be clipped onto. I would have liked to have like a brown clip for either side to make it look like the little fins it has on the front. I think that would have made it look better and more accurate. I don't know why they didn't do that. Um, I think that would have been a great idea, but there is some pretty nice detail for it. You have the handlebar piece there, and it's all built on the 1x3. You have that little backpack thing at the back as well. So they put a lot of detail into this for something of its size, but I just don't think it looks great. I definitely think it could be better. Um, but yeah, let's move on to day 20. For day 20, we have the Endor shield generator. This is another one where I kind of just feel indifferent to. I don't really love it. I don't really hate it either. I just, it's alright. Very simple build as well, maybe 10 pieces max. You have some little trees that surround the actual shield generator, and the shield generator itself, it can go up and it can go down. You have some articulation with this build, um, but I just think it just doesn't look great to me. I'm not sure what they could have changed to make me change my mind. I'm just not a huge fan of it. Um, I would have liked to see some more ships and vehicles, I guess, rather than the shield generator. It's kind of plain, but let's move on to another one of my favorites. For day 20, we have the Ugly Christmas Sweater Emperor Palpatine. This is a great, great minifigure. This minifigure should be an example of what every advent calendar should be. It gives you that really nice exclusive torso with the second Death Star on there, with the lightning bolts on either side, and that printing goes all the way around. This is just a great minifigure. I wish they would have given every character in this advent calendar some kind of Christmas theme. Um, if they just went all into that one idea, I think this would be the perfect advent calendar. Um, yeah, this is just an amazing minifigure. It does come with that newer Emperor Palpatine headpiece. You can see he doesn't have the pupils for some reason, but this is the same head that they used for the throne room duel. Has a more content side and a angrier side. And for accessories, he does come with a lightning bolt piece and a coffee mug. So this is an amazing, amazing minifigure. I love when they do the Christmas sweater versions for minifigures. Uh, in the Marvel and the Star Wars advent calendars. This is great. I love the Darth Vader one, I love the Poe one, and I love the sequel ones in that new Millennium Falcon set. So I just really like this kind of subgenre of Lego Star Wars, and I hope they keep giving us more things like this. But let's move on to day 21. And for day 21, we have the Emperor's Throne Room. Or not throne room, sorry, just the Emperor's Throne. This is a great micro build as well. I think this is a perfect micro build, just like the A or the Stap. So this is just something that can kind of be its one-off thing, and they did the build so well for, an advent calendar. It uses very minimal pieces, just like the command station and the strap, um, and it works really well. As you can see, you can fit Emperor Palpatine right in there. He fits. No hassle, nothing like that. Probably wouldn't work with a Palpatine with a cape though. That might get stuck, but actually I think that could work. Um, so this is just a very great build. There's no printing on these arms of the chair. You can just pick that up. It's all built on the 2x4 kind of sloped piece, and it does have the gray on there where he sits. But yeah, he can fit in there. He's all comfortable in his chair. Spin around if he wants to on my display thing. This is just a great advent calendar build, just like those other two that I keep talking about. But let's move on to day 22. Day 22, we have the Imperial Star Destroyer. This is another pretty good one. I like the way this was built. It's very similar to the N1 where it uses very few pieces, but you can automatically tell what it is. It's all built on this 2x3 base plate thing, and for the pieces that they used, it looks very, very nice. For day 23, we have this Ewok GLier. This is a very nice build as well. Definitely something that could be used for a Endor build or just kind of like a mock or something like that. I think this looks very nice. Um, it's one of those things you could use for anything. Very few pieces were used in this one. I do like the way they use the handlebars on there. And this kind of leads us into day 24, the final minifigure. For day 24, the final day of the advent calendar, we have the Christmas sweater themed Ewok. So this is the same mold all Ewoks have been using since the original Ewok was made, I guess. But it does have that green kind of hood with that really nice Christmas tree on the front. Um, This is just like this Emperor Palpatine, where I said it's exactly what should be in an advent calendar. It has that kind of Christmas feel to it. It's Christmasified, and it just looks great. It has that green all the way from the front and the back. There's no printing underneath the torso, um, and it is dual molded. So that green is dual molded. No printing or anything other than the head, but it looks great and you can use the glider with it. You just have to move its arms back. And let's see, how do I do something to the degree of doing that? You just put their arms back and could fly away and do whatever. So this is a great minifigure, and I really hope LEGO continues this route of the Christmas sweater or like the festive themed minifigures and advent calendars and stuff because I think it works so well. But that is going to do it for all 24. Let's take a look at everything that comes in this set. So here is everything that you get in the set. And I forgot to mention at the beginning of my review, this retails for $45, but at this time of year you can find this on clearance. I believe the lowest I've seen is $20. Um, but this is a pretty good advent calendar. It has some greats, like some of the stuff in the back there, and it kind of has some lows with the turbo tank and this Ewok Village. But it's a very, very nice advent calendar. Better than the one from last year, if I remember correctly. I love the Christmas sweater Palpatine. I love the Christmas Ewok. I love the clone. Just an amazing advent calendar. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I'm going to be making another advent calendar video very soon about the Marvel advent calendar, but let me know what you guys think about this in the comments section down below. Hope you guys have a happy holiday. I'm the Jedi Brick. Peace out. Bye.